I'm talking today with Liz Belcher, who is the Greenways coordinator. She's done so much over the years. She's celebrating 25 years and will soon be retiring. And so I'm glad we have the opportunity to talk with you. And we're going to take a little stroll down one of the greenways that you have had a
Greenway.
hand in. Right. So our newest one, just talk a little bit about the newest one that we have here in the valley.
So this is the second phase of Glade Creek Greenway, and we're in Vinton. It ties to the Billy Bird apartment, so we've already seen lots of residents out here walking and running and walking their dogs, so it's a great amenity.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful out
for
here.
them. So this greenway ties into Tinker Creek Greenway at Virginia Avenue, and then Tinker ties into Roanoke River. So Glade Creek Greenway is Vinton's access to the whole network.
So how many miles in total?
We have over 400 miles of greenways and trails.
Okay.
So we connect the greenways. We have these Roanoke rivers, like the backbone, from east to west, and then we have these side chutes that tie to the national public lands around us.
Right.
So Roanoke River through the middle, and then if you go out Mill Mountain Greenway, you get to the Blue Ridge Parkway. If you go out Run Greenway, you get over to Valley View. If you go out Mason's Creek, you tie to Hinchee that goes to Carvins Cove. So, we're kind of surrounded, which is what's special about Roanoke, right? That we have a state preserve, and then we have Carvins Cove, and then we have the National Forest, and then we have Reed Mountain, and then we have the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then another state preserve. So we have amazing trail opportunities, and the greenways is our urban system.
Right. Talk a little bit about how that's evolved over your time. Just the magnitude of people on the greenways and wanting to be outside. How have you seen that change over 25 years?
I think when we started, people were like, what is this? I distinctly remember one of the staff people saying, I don't know what a greenway is, so I can't build one. And I think that's true for citizens as well. So one of the things the Greenway Commission did in the beginning was try to build a piece. It doesn't have to be a huge piece, but try to build a piece in each jurisdiction around, so that citizens in different parts of the valley could learn what we were talking about. So the first piece to open was Garst Mill Park, which is a half a mile. It was built in conjunction with the sewer project, and it's still only a half a mile. But it was a first piece of greenway that gave people the concept of, having a place to go outside, to walk, to teach their kids to ride a bike, a neighborhood connection. But on the other greenways like Roanoke River, when people started having pub runs and, races and events, I think that made a social connection among people. That it wasn't just that they were out getting exercise by themselves, but
the whole social aspect to it.
And you go down there and go, oh man, the low water bridge is closed. Look at the river, how high it is. And people began to share the nature aspect of it, and the consequences of a heavy rain, and to watch the flood project work.
So 25 years working with Greenways, do you have one most memorable moment or one accomplishment you're most proud of?
Well, there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle. I think that, each piece has had its own challenges in this. But one of the big things I think for the Greenway Commission was the Bridge the Gap campaign. So after the 2007 plan was updated, what we heard from the citizens overwhelmingly was finish Roanoke River. Whereas I can tell you in the first month on this job, I was told by a staff person, don't even think about Roanoke River. You have no clue. It's impossible to do. Don't waste your time on that. And so to get to the point in 2007 where the public was saying, you need to put more focus on finishing Roanoke River. It's important. So the Greenway Commission we sat down and looked at what grants we had, which parts were funded, and we realized that from Rotary Park to Bridge Street, none of it was funded. As part of that, we'd been doing that for a while. We had a lot of corporate support. We had spreadsheets of various things, but then at that time, the region was designated to get what was called RSTP grant money when we became a certain size. And so the Transportation Planning Organization was going to decide who got that money. And so there were lots of questions because they'd never done it before. And I was like, well, can people go together to put it up? Nope, you can't do that, you can't do that. Well, we did it anyway. We put together an application that got money for Roanoke County, the part they weren't finished out near Green Hill. They got money for Salem. They got money for the city and for the pieces that we knew we didn't have funding. So, it was staff, it was elected folks from the 4 localities, but also just the corporate support, and people said to them, this is something I get as well as the community. Right. It's not, just school kids, it's not just, all the needs we have in the community, but I will benefit also. Right. And sometimes people like to put their money where their heart is. Sure. That if it's something they get to use, they're more inclined to support it. Right. There are a lot of resources that go into it. Money, political support. I mean, you see that in any jurisdiction. But just support for moving forward and users. Gosh. What would we do without users? I mean, if you built it and nobody came, then you wouldn't build anything else, right?
But everybody comes. People love their greenways here.
So users are important because they show the community support for the project. Yeah. And ultimately, that's why we're doing it, right? Right.
So now, after all these years, what's next? 25 years, what are you going to do now?
Well, I am right now, and have been for a while, working with what we call the midweek crew, which works every Wednesday. And I'm going to continue to work with them. So that means coordinating their projects with the localities of what are the locality needs. Sure. What trails do you need built? So the project we've just finished is Catawba Greenway, which goes from the tech farm up to the fire road, out to the AT. So I'm still going to help with that and help that crew. Okay. So tomorrow we'll be on Hinchee Trail, county's project, and we'll be doing maintenance, cleaning the culverts, real grunt work. It's good to go out and do some grunt work.
So we're still going to see you out on the trails.
You will.
You're not going to disappear.
I'm not going to disappear.
That's great. We're going to see you out here. Wonderful.
So we'll be doing, we're already working on a project at Carvins Cove and one for Explore Park. So we want to keep expanding the
Sure.
trail network. So
That's great.
I hope to be part of that and maybe get to use it more.
Sure. Have a little bit more time on your hands, maybe.
I told Renee yesterday, maybe I'll be a Greenway ambassador now that I get
Right, sure. Well, you have made so many contributions to the Greenways, to the localities. I know you've given a lot of hard work, and we so appreciate it. And I know the community appreciates it too, because we wouldn't have all this beauty and these wonderful trails to walk on if you didn't have your hand in it. So congratulations to you, and thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.